Today I fucked up by having dinner with an anti-Semitic weight loss expert who propositioned me for prescribed rehabilitative sexual intercourse. This happened a few years ago when I was 22 or so. After mourning the end of a relationship for several months, I decided to try dating again using online websites and dating apps at the behest of my younger sister. After a couple of weeks, I had spoken with and met a number of interesting men and I was ready to throw in the towel. Instead, I decided to change tactics by lowering my expectations and quickening my pace, against my better judgment. Started talking to a gentleman a few years older than me who had spent a number of years in Germany. He seemed intelligent and well-rounded, and I appreciated his knowledge about European countries and other languages. Now, normally I wouldn't meet someone in person the same day we began talking, and normally I wouldn't meet a person in private as a first outing, but both of these were changes I made to be more in line with the online dating culture. My sister vehemently disapproved, especially given some other experiences I had had in life with men by that point, kidnapping, pedophilia, domestic violence, etc. She thought that I was being incredibly foolish, and I was. But I didn't listen. I wanted to see if I would have more success with people this way, particularly this individual who seemed charming on paper. So I took a 45 minutes bus to his neighborhood and climbed the stairs to his suite. First impressions were good, the building was clean, the area seemed safe, and he matched the photo I had seen on the website. Our plans were simple. He was going to cook chicken for dinner and we were going to watch a movie on Netflix. Harmless enough. However, the one-bedroom condo didn't have a television set. The unit was barren apart from appliances, a sofa, a table for two, and a bed visible from the living room. I asked about it and he told me that he was renting the place on Airbnb while he looked for an apartment. Remembering that he had just returned from Germany, this didn't seem like a far-fetched explanation. Still didn't explain the Netflix thing, and I was already a bit uncomfortable, but I didn't press it. After all, maybe I had misunderstood. Instead, we talked. In the corner of the living room was a large window with a low sill which he used as a footrest as he spoke with me, gazing out the window with his elbow perched on his knee. He spoke of politics and hegemony, and I listened, though it quickly turned into tirades about Muslims and Jews in Germany and how they are destroying the foundations of society. All the while I became increasingly uncomfortable. But I had been taught that pulling out your phone is impolite when someone else is speaking, so I didn't text my sister to fake call me for an emergency to get me out of there. His erratic behavior and speech also made me fearful and prevented me from standing up and leaving without justification. I therefore resigned myself to finishing dinner and then leaving. He continued his rant for half an hour, during which he contextualized his hatred of Jewish persons by describing an accident he had had in Germany. Supposedly, he had been rear-ended and thrown from his bike the year prior, causing extensive damage to a ligament between his testicles and his leg. He was told by his doctor that he had to do a set of stretches and other rehabilitative exercises to prevent long-term damage. He started rubbing the inside of his thigh and, looking directly at me, confidently stated that sexual intercourse was prescribed by his doctor as a rehabilitative measure. He then groaned about how that Jewish person nearly stripped him of his manhood and how he must have lots of sex to ensure that his penis will continue to work. Now, I'm book smart, not street smart, but I knew he was propositioning me. I didn't know whether to empathize with him or to laugh at him. I told him that that must have been a pretty bad accident and that I also see a physiotherapist, whose rehabilitative exercises have worked for me. He nodded and went back to stroking his thigh and gazing off out the window. I then asked about dinner, noting that I'd like a reduced portion if possible since I was doing a weight management thing at the time, and he promptly tells me, "Oh, stand up and turn around a few times. I'll tell you how much weight you should lose." I was shocked. I also refused. I told him that I knew what I was doing and that in consultation with a dietitian, I was aware of my goals and that I didn't need his advice about it. He tried again, and again I refused. He then went to prepare the chicken and I just sat there sinking into the sofa wishing I hadn't come. He continued his racist monologue while cooking and, while the meat was searing in the pan, began doing some leg stretches on the wall beside the bedroom door and moaning about how he could use some physical relief on the doctor's orders. I just looked away and told him that, "That's nice." We ate the chicken, yes, just an unseasoned chicken. He had nothing else since it was an Airbnb, and I left. Not worth it. Too long didn't read. As a result of failing to heed my sister's advice about online dating, I met an opinionated anti-Semitic weight loss expert at an Airbnb who propositioned me several times for prescribed rehabilitative sex, and all I got to show for my troubles was some lousy chicken. Between this and the guy who brought his mom's ashes to a Tinder date, I think I will stay off the apps. Sounds like a character from a Quentin Tarantino movie. I know that you mention both Germany and anti-Semitism in the same post here, but when it comes to crimes against humanity, serving unseasoned chicken has to be up there with the worst of them. As a chicken eating and a chicken cooking Jew, I must agree that this man committed multiple foul and nasty infractions. When he asked you to turn around, I would have turned right around and walked myself right out the door. Sorry you had to endure such an evening. I wouldn't have stayed past the tirade on Muslims and Jews. Fuck that guy. Lol, that went from completely normal to WTF? In 0 seconds flat. Going to a stranger's house that's 45 minutes away after experiencing kidnapping, pedophilia and domestic is completely normal. Today I fucked up by flirting with a girl. Okay, so I'm dying laughing from this still. It just happened a couple hours ago. I was out at a bar with some friends having drinks. This cute drink girl comes up to me and starts hitting on me. We're chatting for a bit and then she starts laying it on thick. She was coming on way strong. So far I'm doing okay keeping up, but at one point she said, "Does this dress make you want to bend me over?" And my fucking response was, "Ooh, I'll bend you over like a naughty little teapot." As you can imagine, she had a very confused look on her face, so I followed it up with a "What? Don't you know the teapot song?" Exclamation mark. Then it clicks in my head, the little teapot song is freaking Tip Me Over. Also, what the fucking is a naughty teapot? Come on, brain. At this point everyone realizes how dumb I am and is laughing at me. I'm trying to backpedal and explain my thought process, but I think I just ended up asking her to teabag me somehow. I was so embarrassed and trying to be cool. Needless to say, she left pretty quick after that, and my friends call me Mr. Teapot now. Too long didn't read. A girl was hitting on me and I said I wanted to bend her over like a naughty little teapot. She left. You got her teapot steaming all right. I think I turned the burner off. Lol, mate, you just got to own from this day on. I'd say that's pretty legendary and you won't forget it. It is funny and all, but I am still processing the fact that this is how people flirt. Don't get me wrong, I'm not hating, but for me, a smile and eye contact feel like crossing certain lines. Lol. This post was short and stout. Take my upvote and get out. Ha ha ha. I can't help but imagine you said it in a very posh, effeminate, British accent and it's amusing me to no end. Today I fucked up by getting an erection during doctor exam. So this happened last week. I had an appointment with my family doctor. I had an abscess under my scrotum, and when I got to the examination room, the nurse came in and did the normal checkup and then told me that my normal doctor wasn't there, so a PA was going to take a look. After waiting for 5 minutes, the PA came in and she was young, probably in her 20s, and very attractive. She asked me what was the reason for coming. I told her, and she asked a few other questions, and then she chatted with about school for 5 minutes, and then she told me to stand up and drop my pants, and she went to put on gloves. When she was done, she came and got on her knees so she could see it properly, and she pulled down my underwear, and that's when I instantly got hard. I was mortified, but she didn't seem to mind. She checked it out for 5 minutes and then told me to get dressed, and she saw I was really embarrassed and she told me it was a normal reaction and not anything to be embarrassed about. She prescribed some antibiotics and then I left. Too long didn't read. Went to a doctor and the doctor was very attractive and I got a boner. That's not a fuck up. You didn't make a mistake. The doctor won't even remember. Don't listen to this guy. She'll definitely remember, bro. I'm sure you left a big impression. Healthcare professionals don't care. It might be unusual or embarrassing for you, but it's every day for them. I had someone apologize profusely because her water broke during an internal. I don't care. I had someone's water drench me head to waist and I just had to carry on and deliver the baby. Then went for a shower. It's like a pretty common thing. Good thing for my visor. Same thing happened to me at the dentist, bro. You catch the today I fucked up a couple weeks back who nutted while getting his teeth cleaned? The resident who checked my prostate was smoking hot. How do people request a prostate exam? Do you present symptoms or do you just pop the question in the room? I literally look away and am just like, don't get hard, don't get hard, don't get hard in my mind over and over. Lol. My PCP has two rather attractive women, his PA and his CRNP, which is the one I usually see. My penis actually retracts inside my body during any sort of examination. Natural defense mechanism.